am going to try something new. And first is coming with a drawing, and I really want to diverge a little bit and kind of start working on understanding the human form and painting figures. And I'm not quite sure uh, which direction that will take me, if I'm going to go for an impressionistic style, if I'm going to work towards more of a, not realism. I don't want to do especially hyper realism. That's not something that I'm interested in. Probably moving more towards a contemporary look. And I think I'm just going to try that and play around with it for a while. So I'm going to kind of sketch it out, play around with it a little bit, uh, and then paint. I want to do a big, huge painting. That's what I want to do. Um, I haven't got the space in here. I can do a pretty. I can do a large one, but I don't have a canvas for it. So uh, until I get to the city and I'm able uh, to to get some larger canvases, I actually do have one, but I'm not going to use that because it's good quality linen, and I need to not play around with a good quality linen large canvas. I think it's like a 70 by 90 or by 1 meter. Um, it looks really good for a large landscape, which I also really want to do. So I just have this need to try something new, and I've always wanted to do figures. I've always wanted to do more of the human form, portraits, things like that. Uh, and I haven't. I just haven't done it. So I figure 2025 is the perfect time to do that. So that's what I've got going here. I've got my sketchbook and my various, pencils. Here's the first thing. I'll put it there. Maybe you can see it, right? There's this taking the knife and shaping and forming the, maybe I'll put it there, right? You can see, right? It's not a pencil sharpener. It's scraped back. This is what, if you just get a pencil and get it in the pencil sharpener, that's basically what it looks like. But when you scrape it down, you can create different tips. Like the tip, you can sharpen it at one point and lengthen it at another, so that you can create all sorts of different marks, and it's great. So I've got that going. This is a little, like, rather than using your finger to smudge kind of thing, you can use you use this. I think it's just made out of paper. It's kind of fuzzy, like almost like forget the word in English. It's not cardboard. Um, I well, it's more like paper, but a different type, not like on your sketchbook stuff. And then I have a kneaded eraser, which is in my other bag, that I have to pull that out as well, just to get going with the sketching and to really stretch myself again. It's like the 30-day lemon challenge, But this one is a challenge to really try and move into a different area of my lessons, of my experience, of expanding myself outwards in a stronger way. And so I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I love doing animal portraits. I love them. But the human form has always been something that's, I don't know. I think because you get the feeling like you can never really quite do it. It's that, it's my sense of perfectionism coming in again. And this is why this is a good challenge for me right now, because it is again coming to good enough. Understanding that doing the practice and doing the drawings and trying something a little bit different with my painting and how I go about it, and being looser, not being so tight, is is the practice of good enough, and that is the most positive of everything. It is the practice. It is the journey. It is the learning, the understandings, the failures upon failures and flops and bad paintings, all developing into somewhat of a better, or a better, that's not even the right word, developing into a more representational visual piece, works that of me, of who I am. So I mean, you know, people, you guys who have been with me for a while, that I like to test those things out, try something new. And so I've got that going. I have this really, really beautiful large canvas that I mentioned earlier that I, 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 I want to put together a large painting and really, really do it. And I guess I feel a little bit daunted by that, because I've always painted small because I have a tiny little studio. I haven't got a lot of room for stuff, for big paintings. And I have this inclination that I want to get there. So those are my thoughts. I'm not quite sure how the day is going to go. What I am going to do is work on this, and then if I like what's going on here, translate it onto the canvas, you know, and see if I'm going to go with acrylics on this, or if I'm going to go with oils or do a mixed media. I'm kind of leaning towards the mixed media thing, which means that I'll start with acrylics and then probably add some oils on top of that, and go with that. I don't know. We shall see. So I'm going to get started on my day. It is another gorgeous, gorgeous day here on the island. We are probably in the Alkyonides, which is a time period in January. I don't know why this happens, but it's in January, either in the beginning of the month or towards the end of the month, where we have a stretch of absolutely beautiful days, just beautiful spring feeling days. And then, and then winter hits again. It's it's lovely while I'm here in this Alkioni this time. And then I will work on feeling like it's lovely when the winter hits again and it gets dark and cold and rainy and hopefully snowing. I'd like to see some snow this year. And yeah, the practice, as with this, the practice of being present with right now, with what's happening as I'm creating this. The practice of being present with what's happening on the island with the weather. Is it warm and beautiful? Great. Is it cold and rainy and beautiful? That's great then. And I think we can all do these simple daily practices of being present within our day and help us all along the path of really beginning to love and enjoy your daily life. Because our lives happen in the moment, right now, as you're sitting here watching this. This is your present moment. This is your now. Be conscious of it. Be connected to it as much as we can. But nobody can do it all the time. You know, I suppose if you're one of those very unique types that have managed and worked very hard to be fully present. And even when we're fully present, you can never, I don't think we can ever be fully present. As long as you're a human being, I don't think that's a possibility. But, you know, at least for the majority of us, that's not a possibility. But you can do it once in a while. And the more you do it, the more you come back to the thought of being present in your moment, whatever it is that you're doing. So, yeah, that's about it for today, you guys. Be inspired, be creative, be you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I will see you all again tomorrow.